What's up everybody, I go by the name of Danny James, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some of the ways you can use to add movement to your videos during post-production. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date with all my latest tutorials. Give this video a like so that other people with the same interest as you get to watch it. Before we jump into the video, in case you're looking for editing presets, color grading LUTs, overlays, textures, you can visit my online store and you can check them out, see what you can get. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. On my timeline I have a couple of clips and I also have a music track so that at least you can have a bit of context into what you're really doing whenever you're editing. I'll play this as it is so that you can begin with a first way that you can use to add movement. Okay, now before we transition from this video to this next one, I'll show you a quick trick. So I can see the beats, the hi-hats start hitting around this point. You can see on this music layer. Let's use the crop effect on this clip right here. So I'll aim for these hi-hats and I'll grab my razor tool right beside and I'll cut right there. I'll go about 5 frames, cut it, then I'll go another 5 frames, put a cut. I'll just create a bunch of cuts with 5 frames each. So I think that's enough. And then I'll highlight these clips. I'll go to my effects and look for a crop effect. So just slap it on your clips. Before this transition starts, let this video come up to this point. Now we shall be transitioning from here. Now, so we are transitioning into this other video. Let me just, okay. So on these layers which have the crop effect, just click on the first one and then I'll go under the crop. I'll try to crop it. Let's crop it from the right hand side. So I'll cut it up to about, let's put 85%. Okay, that's 85. After the first one, I'll go to my second one and I'll reduce by intervals of like 20. So I'll go to right and go to 65. And then I'll reduce by another 20, 55, 45, 45. Okay, so again from the right, 45. You can choose whichever side that you want. Just try to, yeah, you can see what's happening. And then 45, after 45, let's go to 35, 25. And then the rest can stay just as it is. Now let's just preview this and see what difference it does to the video. You can see the video didn't just start and there was a bit of dynamic movement which was happening. Yeah, so that's a really easy way you can use to add movement. We can try doing it differently. So let me just reset all these parameters. Okay, they are all at 0. Now let's do it maybe from the top now. I'll go to my crop effect and then I'll crop it from the bottom, I mean. Okay, let's do with 80 and then we go to 60 from the bottom, 60 and then 40. Just we're doing the same thing. 80, 60, 40 and then 20 and then it should go on from there. Now just play it with a beat and you can really feel the difference. The second way which you can use to add movement into your videos is by using the transform effect. Now I'll show you practically how you can do this. So we're going to transition between this clip to the next one. And how we'll do that, right before doing this transition, we'll need to cut a few chunks from these other clips that we have right here beside. So I'll just grab my razor tool and cut it. I'll need like 5 to 8 frames. Or you can just cut it and then you'll find out later on how much of it you need. Okay, I need like 4 subsections. So we start with the first one here. So let me just measure about 8 frames. Shift key and then my right arrow key once to go 5 frames. Right arrow key 1, 2, 3. I'm at 8 frames. So I leave it there and then I'll trim and bring the rest here. Now I'll bring these other clips 5, 6, 7, 8. I bring this other clip also and bring it here 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll need another clip also, so let me just cut from, okay, I'll get it from this other clip right here. So just cut it, bring it. Whenever you're doing this, I'd recommend using like 4 subsections. That's why I'm finding a thin line whereby I'm getting something good. Again, 5, 6, 7, 8, cut it here. I'll change the label color for these 4 so that you can easily identify them. And then this video should continue from right here. So it should go from these. Now to do this, you'll need to go to your effects tab and look for transform effect and drop it on your clips. Okay, I'll just drop it on my first clip, and then we'll add the keyframes from it, and then you can also copy it among these other clips. So I'll go to my effect controls. I'll add keyframes for scaling. I'll push that keyframe to my left, and then I'll zoom in about 150. I'll scale in, sorry, and squeeze that keyframe to this other side. And then also right here, don't forget you need to disable use composition shutter angle, and then put your own shutter angle. Anywhere between 90 degrees to 180 should look good, so I'll put 180 such that it will have the natural blurriness whenever an object is moving towards the eye or away from the eye. Once that's done, I'll copy this effect and paste it on these other clips. Yeah, so you can see what it should look like. Now let me just play it with the music so that you can see for yourself. That looks really good. It's super easy. Yeah, it's one of the ways which you can easily add movement to your videos. The third way which you can use to add movement to your videos is by adding a camera shake. For camera shake, you can either do it manually, which will involve having a lot of keyframes, but I'd recommend using a plugin, whether it's from Sapphire or a Red Giant Universe. So I've talked about this in so many videos, but I'll just do this on this clip. We'll continue from where we just left off. So I'll add a shake to this clip whenever we hear those hi-hats. So I can see these hi-hats right here. I'll cut this clip here, and then don't keep it for so long, so about 5 frames, that should be okay. It all depends with your measurement you're using your eyes. I'll also give it a different shade. Okay, I'll need a different shade, and then I'll cut right here again on this bit. I'll also cut again on this bit, so it's better to just use your eyes to measure these. I'll also highlight on those clips which we're adding the shake on. Okay, so you can see the clips that are in yellow are the ones which are going to add the camera shake. Now you don't really need to change or tweak a lot of these things. I'll highlight on these 4 clips, and then I'll go to my effects and look for a shake. We can add a shake from the Red Giant Universe. I've always been showing videos whereby I'm using the Sapphire shake, so I'll just drop the Red Giant Universe. I think without tweaking many settings, I think we should be able to get that look. Let's just preview as it is. Yeah, you can see it really shakes. So if you really want to get a more accentuated shake, just come to your settings, and then you can increase the frequency here. For the Red Giant Universe, I'll also link down below whereby you can download this one and use it in your software. I've just upped the frequency. I should be able to alter the amplitude, how much of this shake happens, so I can see the amplitude X and Y. Let me just bump up those values and see what happens. Yeah, you can see it's more vigorous. Let me just tweak the same settings to this other clip right here. I'll bump up the frequency. If you want a more accentuated shake, bump up these settings, the frequency, the amplitude X and Y, and I'll change for these 2 only. I'll let these other ones stay as they are. So let's just preview these. Yeah, so that's a really easy way that you can add sort of dynamic movement into your videos whenever you're doing the post-production. Now I'll show you the 4th way which you can use to add movement to your clips, and that is by utilizing speed ramping. I'll do it on the same clip since this clip was shot in 50 frames per second. For the speed ramp, it's also up to you to listen to the music and see whatever is happening. But even without the music, whenever you are able to add speed and change the video from going at a faster level or a faster speed to a lower speed, it always gives you better results. So let's preview this clip, and I'll add these changes so that you can see. Okay, with your clip on your timeline, you can see this small FX button. Just right click on it and go to time remapping and go to speed. That way we are able to add keyframes to this clip right here without going to our effect controls. Right here, I'm holding Alt and my scroll wheel button to increase the size of the video 2 layer. As this clip starts, I let it go on normally, and then right here I'll hold Control and click to add a keyframe, and then I will lower the speed of this clip. It can go up to 60. Since this clip was shot in 50 frames per second, it doesn't have that jittery feeling. So let's just continue from here. I'll mute the audio for a second so it goes slow now. Let me just lower that speed to 46. Now as it slows just a bit, I'll add a keyframe right here. Okay, right here, hold Control while clicking there and you see you add a keyframe. I'll bump up this value and then I'll take it to around 180. Anywhere towards 200 plus should look okay. And then I let it go on with this high amount of speed just for a few frames, maybe like 5, maybe for like 10 frames. And then I lower the speed back. I'll hit Control while clicking to add a keyframe, and then I'll return this value back to 100. So let's just watch that. Now you can see it has gone back to the normal speed. Now that it's at normal speed, I'll add a keyframe and then bump it up again to anywhere near 200, and then I'll slow it down so suddenly here, add a keyframe, lower it once again to around 50. You're just having fun with it, and then it should go on that low speed for a few frames, then we can have it come back to 100. Now let's preview these together with the music. Yeah, you can see there is so much movement happening in the frame, which makes it even more appealing. Now for the fifth way that you can add movement to this clip, it's more or less from our previous point. It's by creating a sort of boomerang effect. Now I'll do this on the same clip right here. I'll come with a razor tool and cut that clip. Okay, and then as it goes on, I'll choose about 10 frames, 5, 10, and then I'll also cut these. I'll relabel that layer. Okay, so how to do a boomerang is just by duplicating your clips. The clip that we just cut, I'll duplicate by holding Alt and moving that mouse to my right. And then on this second clip, I'll right click, go to speed and reverse that speed. I'd also recommend, let's just watch as it is. Yeah, so it goes normally and then the movement reverses. And to complete this boomerang, you need to finish that off with the initial clip. So the first clip, which is right here, I'll duplicate it once more and bring it here so that it has that continuous movement, and then the clip should go on from there. Yeah, so you can see how these effects are really compounding to give us these overall better effect. I'll play all my clips from the top and you can see what we've done so far to increase or to add movement to our video. Alright, so we've played the video from the beginning and you've seen the drastic difference it has brought to this clip by just incorporating some of these small tweaks to create dynamic and movement. That's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've tried keeping it as short and straight to the point as I could, and also giving you some context by adding some music in the background so that you could all follow along with it. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give it a like. If you're also watching my video for the first time, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. My name is Danny James. See you in the next one. Peace.